Hello, thank you for joining me. In this video, we're going to do a 5-card pick a card using the Sirian Starseed Tarot, which is absolutely massive. So I have given it a shuffle. It took like half a day, and I'm just going to cut the deck from here on in. And we're also going to use Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light, which does not get used enough. So let me start off with a quick apology. It's been an absolutely insane week again, as last week was. And I do mean to do more of these long form videos. It's what I love to do. It really is. But car trouble again. And if you've been following me on Facebook or Instagram or, maybe even TikTok, all over the internet I seem to be. And if you've been following me along, you'll know that the car is pretty essential because I live miles from anywhere. And so that kind of got in the way. Anyway, here is a quick clip of when I picked the car up. And unbelievably, we seem to be back on the road, which is fantastic news. So, thank you all for your prayers. Seems like I'm always asking you to pray for my car, which essentially is praying for me, really. It's actually not completely fixed. It's got going again next week. There's still something wrong with it, but God knows it's cost enough this week, so it's working again. That's the main thing. Okay, so let's get into a deck cutting exercise at this point. So there's one, take that one as well, and 2 and 3. Come here, 4. And the 5th one, that's what we're going to need. These are really hard cards to get hold of. Okay, right, let's put the rest out of the way, lest they interfere with what we're doing. And here, dear friends, if I can get them all the right way round, are your 5 cards, and I will hold them up so you can pick a card. I have got used enough to this phone now to kind of realise that I think, anyway, I hope I'm right, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 today. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So which one of those jumps out at you? Do they all jump out at you? You can pick all 5 if you want. That's never a bad idea, actually. Any number you want, really. It's entirely up to you. And we will do a card to go with each one of these from Keepers of the Light. That's how we're going to roll with this one. So, okay, did you pick card number 1? If you did, here it comes. Now, the Sirian Starseed Tarot, before I get into the reading the cards, is kind of really very much its own thing. It's very different to traditional tarot, although it does have a lot of the same images, and it's kind of organised the same way as well. But I'm going to do what we call an esoteric reading here. In other words, I'm going to kind of go off the pictures and the feelings of the moment. So here is card number 1. It is the Ace of Chalices. So it's the Ace of Cups, really, but it's got it as the Ace of Chalices. And isn't it a wonderful looking kind of fountain of life that's going on here? And this is a side of the cups that's very easy to let go of and forget, because the cups are so much about what we long for, what we dream of, the things we hope are going to come into being, and maybe sometimes feel we daren't really hope that these dreams are actually going to come true. But they can, and the whole point of the spiritual journey is to actually get us to that point where we're able to manifest our dreams. We're able to make things happen in a real kind of positive and vibrant way. And so the emotions which the water in this card does actually represent are really fizzing up, and they're looking absolutely beautiful. If you pick this card and your cup isn't running over with wonders at the moment, then focus on the fact that it's going to be before too long. Ace of Chalices. And let's go into Keepers of the Light and cut the deck. And what we have is, Mary Magdalene. Teacher awakens. Wow, okay, so this could be like your inner teacher, or this could be someone the universe has sent into your life to kind of teach you something and just raise things up a bit. It says you have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. And that really is how it needs to be if you're going to manifest all the wonders that are indicated in the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Chalices there from the Sirian Starseed. Follow the inner call. Don't let anyone stop you, because you have something important to share. And we tend to forget that, you know, particularly in the world of the internet. People say things like, well, so I'm that important, am I? Ha ha ha. And we seem kind of unimportant when we look at the world around us and there's so much going on. And this is the thing about having a small YouTube channel. I know it's important because of the comments I get and the readings I do for people, and just the way that kind of things keep changing and keep going in positive directions, sometimes less positive, sometimes more positive, but never in a negative direction, really. And so however small your voice might seem to be to you in this world, it is actually something that's there for a reason, and it is actually something very positive. So there is card number one. Card number two, it's another ace actually. It's the Ace of Orbs. And I believe this would be the Ace of Pentacles, though I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest. There you go, there's some honesty for you. And we've got water imagery again. Here we've got a dolphin looking up at the moon. It's almost like the moon card here. And if you pick this card, I guess you're kind of, you know, still in your emotions to a fairly deep degree. But at the same time, you're looking around, you're looking for answers, you're looking for a way out. So you wouldn't need the Ace of Cups, you know, you wouldn't need the Ace of Chalices to inform you, because you're already actually doing something to make use of this energy and to make use of these feelings you've got, which is very positive. And as I was saying to somebody last night that I did a reading for, even if, you know, you're sort of looking for answers and you don't really know what you're going to find, just wanting to find something is enough to make all the difference, is enough to really kind of set things off and make things happen for you. So don't worry if you're at the low ebb, which I suspect you might very well be if you drew this card. The only way is up when you get to a low ebb. That's really, really a true thing. So Ace of Orbs, there we go. And look at that beautiful orb, that rather moon-like orb floating in the sea there. You know, in the middle of a vast ocean, in the middle of the vastness of this life, friends, is what I'm saying. There is actually always something worth going for, always something to shoot for. So here we go. Right, a card from Keepers of the Light. And this time we have one of my favourite Ascended Masters. You shouldn't have a favourite, should you? But I do. And it's Saint Germain. Not a Christian saint, the Count of Saint Germain in France. Manifested, well, I'm sure he did manifest a lot actually, but what I'm trying to say is he reincarnated many times. At least twice he's been the Count of Saint Germain, and he is a reincarnation of Merlin. This is also a thing, and he's talking about karma releasing, and he says, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. Right, so as you're looking around like that dolphin in the sea there on the Ace of Orbs, Ace, it's the beginning of a journey. As you're looking around on that path, really, you know, making room for good things to come in is important. If you don't believe they can come in, they're not going to come in. But if you believe, you know, really believe that something good can happen, then the chances, well, it's almost guaranteed that something good will happen, you know. As a spiritualist medium, sometimes people come through who've committed suicide, and they will very often point to the fact that as long as you're alive, something good might happen, you know, when you take your life, when you end everything, and that's a very dramatic way of looking at this, but when you just cut something off and bring it to a close, it's not going to go in a good direction after that, is it, you know? So make room for good things to come in, because they really can. And he says, move beyond drama as well and create your own path. And that is crucial, really, to the happiness of all this actually working out and becoming a real thing for you. So there we are. So card number 3, this is what it all kind of pivots on if you picked all 5. This is the middle point of the reading, and this, my friends, is the Master of Flames. Very, very striking character. There he is. wearing a robe, which that's a really interesting kind of symbolism to get into, really. Many people in the pagan traditions, in witchcraft and Wiccanism, will wear a robe. In all kinds of faith systems and belief systems, robes are worn, and it makes the difference between the everyday you and the you that's kind of being ceremonial and is actually trying to make something happen. You can see the sun rising behind him there, and it actually looks quite fiery. You could almost think they were flames, but they're not. They're clouds being lit up by the sun. So as every cloud has a silver lining, every cloud also has the potential to light up with this amazing fire in a completely natural way from the sun. And the Master of Flames knows this. Okay, if you pick this card, there's a higher intelligence very interested in you, wanting to work with you. And if you're not already aware of that through meditation or something similar, then you're going to find maybe a kind of ascended master character like the Master of Flames, or maybe, another human being coming into your life to actually help you to understand things, to help you master something, and to help you find your way ahead. Master of Flames. Let us cut the Keepers of the Light deck. And, wow, it's all nature in this one. This is very kind of nature orientated, this one. Because to go with the Master of Flames, we have got Gaia, Earth Connection. Important to remember that all the time, actually. And people talk about kind of environmentalism and looking after the planet, and that is super important, not just for reasons of, climate change or whatever we want to call it. And I know the jury's out on the meaning of a lot of that, really. But it says, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. And this is the thing, it's having a love for the Earth is really what's important. Really deeply into the kind of paganistic Wiccanism, symbolism, that kind of thing. Gosh, I'm running out of words here. I'm always doing that. It's one of the things I do. But it's sometimes hard to find words to describe these amazing things. And when you think of the vastness of the planet, how do you ever describe that, really? It's just like whatever we get coming in spiritually when we meditate, it needs to come in quite slowly, and that's why we need to meditate a bit every day, if we possibly can, because it's superhuman knowledge packing itself into a very non-superhuman brain, a very human brain, which we all seem to be blessed with in one way or another. But Gaia, Earth Connection, the vastness of the Earth, that's another very vast thing, another thing that takes a lifetime to understand. So have respect for the planet and just be mindful of all the amazing resources that Mother Earth gives us, all the work the Goddess has done behind the scenes to offer us these amazing things. And come back to Earth, stay grounded. That is really important, being grounded is, it's really the only way to fly, if you like. Sometimes when I'm teaching mediums, which has been my privilege to do at times, people will say, well, if I ground myself, how can I kind of, fly to, be with the angels and in touch with the higher realms? And the fact is, it is a little bit dangerous not to be grounded when you're doing that. And so the angels, being the wonderful creatures that they are, they won't actually let you screw yourself up. They won't actually let you wander into trouble. So you need to ground yourself, and they will lift you. They will absolutely lift you. So that's the thing to remember. Anything spiritual where we think about the cosmic and everything, it is actually all part of the energy that starts with the Goddess in the Earth. So we do need to be grounded. We really do. And there are many, many people who aren't into any kind of spiritual practice or belief who want to be grounded. It's just kind of almost an everyday thing, which is as it should be, because it kind of needs to be. Right. So card number 4, moving on. If you picked all 5, this is your kind of short-term future, or, whatever's coming next, basically. And this is, it's the Tower of Destruction. There we are. Very different looking to the traditional Tower of Destruction card, but it's saying pretty much the same thing. And we've got flames and fire all over the place, and lightning. And what are these, friends? They're natural forces. They're things that are actually meant to be a part of our world. things that can cause us a fair bit of trouble, things that are quite dangerous to us, really. But they are part of life. And as well as the dangers, they are, fire is very cleansing. Lightning, too, is very cleansing. And, it's a bolt of lightning, it's a bolt of inspiration. And when we get the tower coming up, things will never be the same again. But invariably, in a good way, something positive always comes out of this. So maybe if you pull this card, you're kind of a little bit worried about something that might go on in your life. And basically the thing to do is just let stuff happen, because stuff will happen whether you want it to or not. So just let stuff happen. That is really the thing to do. And that is what the Tower of Destruction is all really about, because when one set of circumstances or one maybe living situation gets torn apart and it's just not working anymore, something else will come in, because it will create a vacuum. It really will. So we have the tower there from the major arcana of the Sirian Starseed, and here we have Mr. Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light card to go with it. Here we go. Diana, focused intention. And she says, think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. So when she's saying think about what you desire, don't limit yourself in terms of what you desire. If you think, well, I'd really like this, but I'd better just kind of, go small and just ask for something simple. No, shoot for the stars, okay? The universe, the goddess, all the spiritual forces want to uplift you in that direction, want to make things good, want to make things better than you could ever imagine in your wildest dreams. And after the Tower of Destruction, that is really the way to think. And when we get a Tower of Destruction moment in life, it does tend to make us think, oh, wow, that's taught me a lesson. I won't try and get above myself again. But no, get above yourself. The destruction is all there to clear the way, make that vacuum for something amazing and new to come in. And Diana knows all about it. Expect the best possible outcome. All right? And the best possible outcome may not be the one you expect. So don't kind of focus on any particular outcome that you want to happen, unless it's really, really important to you. Allow it basically to be a big thing. Allow it to be massive. Allow it to be bigger than you ever imagined in your wildest dreams, because that is what the spiritual path in life is meant to bring us. It really is. And this is bringing us to card number 5. And we're back in the suit of orbs again. We've got the Adept of Orbs here. And the Adept is kind of like a page, really, in a lot of ways, but maybe a cross between a page and a knight, because he is quite accomplished. He is adept. He is good at things. And here he's really performing some magic, because he holds in his hand this crystal ball type of thing. I mean, no, it's not going to focus if I do that, is it? So I'll come out a bit. But he's using the tree. There's the tree magic going on there, and he's holding that scenario in his hands. What is it? It's a knight. It's a knight on horseback. So we really have got a parallel with the traditional knight in the tarot going on here. But he is the adept, and he's making it happen in a very natural way. He's sitting on the ground. He's using the energy of the tree, and he again is wearing a cloak, you see. He's wearing a robe. So he is doing something to affirm that the spiritual practice that he does is something out of the ordinary, something different from the everyday world and the mundane stuff that the world is always trying to, dumb us down with. And this reminds me, this whole robe thing actually makes me think of something that I've said in a video, but probably not for several years. There's an old story, if you ever meet monks, that they tell this story to each other. So there's this monk, and he goes to his spiritual director, who's a priest, and says, "Father, is it okay to smoke while I pray?" And the priest says, "Well, not really. You should make it a special time, and focus on God." And so the monk says, "Okay, well, thank you, Father, but in that case, is it okay to pray while I smoke?" And when you think about that, there's no real answer to that, but it's kind of obvious to you, isn't it? The answer isn't part of the story. It's one of those stories to kind of make you think, when wouldn't it be a good time for a monk to pray, because they live a life of prayer? And that spreads into our spiritual practice, you would wear a robe and you would make special effort if you were going to have a ceremony or something, but the magic you bring around you is there for your whole life. Okay, magic is for life, not just for Christmas, and not just for ceremonial times either. So I've cut the deck again, and here is our Ascended Masters card by Kyle Gray to go with that. Joan of Arc, voice of truth. There she is, with these lilies, which in some traditions symbolize death, and in some traditions symbolize life. So we're kind of really traveling between worlds there. She says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Releasing fear of persecution. That is a tricky one. That really is a tricky one. It's something that gets to me in my daily life, because I've been a medium now so long that a great many of my friends who really aren't on this path and really don't believe in this kind of thing, and yet are still very good friends, can be quite critical of me for this. And I've had to sort of learn not to be embarrassed by it and just, push ahead and say, no, never mind what you think. This is what I think, and this is what I'm going to do. So you really need to have that focus if you possibly can. So it's the voice of truth. It's speak your truth. Okay, focus on your purpose. Never mind what anyone else wants you to do. Your purpose is what matters. The universe put you here for a reason, no matter what everybody else wants you to do. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. There is Joan of Arc. Absolutely wonderful lady, if ever there was one. On that note, friends, I'm going to bring this one, in fact, to a close. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope that's meant something to you. Please leave me a comment, actually, and let me know what that meant to you, which cards you picked. It's all good. Helps our spirit guides work together, which is always good part of it. And speaking of our spirit guides working together, if you would like to book a reading, I don't have a great many readings in my diary at the moment, so the chances are you'll get one in the next few days. If you'd like a reading, 35and83@gmail.com is my email address, and I'll put that in the description down below. 35and83@gmail.com. Don't put excuse me in there, that was just a little extra thing that happened. Okay, so anyway, yeah, leave me a comment. Always good to share the journey. Please drop a like on this one if you've enjoyed it. And why not hit the subscribe button, because there's more coming all the time. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. You can even follow me on Twitter, actually, and follow me on TikTok, because there's loads of stuff going on with TikTok at the moment. Great fun, and it's been great fun doing this reading and sharing this time with you. So thanks again for watching, friends. Take good care of yourselves. Love and light, blessings and peace.